me, Iliana, and Helen too are the presidents. Kristin Dikaios was a contributing president this year, and then our members this year are Natalie, Eva, Alexandra, and Anil. And here's our presentation. So again, this is us. We decided to kind of launch this picture to introduce the team to our school, and we've slowly started acquiring members from then. So this year we wanted to focus on SDG number 4, which is quality education. And in the light of the very hard and troublesome past 3 years, our club has selected the 4th goal, which is quality education. We wanted to directly impact our local young community within our school and throughout Cyprus by presenting them with unique and previously unprovided educational opportunities, because it was imperative to us, specifically through global education destinations and through our academic lives, to show our peers the importance of education and how it's the source of all positive and negative influences within our lives. And so we decided to focus on culture, history, and STEM and how they contribute to the resolution of issues that have diachronically plagued humanity, thus paving the way for a more successful and sustainable future. So here is our initiative. We wanted to focus on providing unique educational lectures to students from multicultural backgrounds in Cyprus, following, again, SDG number 4. Our ultimate goal is to impact today's youth in order to broaden their horizons so that they too can play a part in our fight for change. We implemented this by inviting inspiring and successful Cypriot individuals. It was important to us that they are Cypriot, so we show people in our community how people they aspire to be, fellow Cypriots, have also blossomed in their respective careers. And we have organized workshops about their respective professional experiences. Whether these concern the role of women in STEM, the nurturing of international peace, or the importance of being an active and a responsible citizen, we are certain that they will positively influence the way we think and act when dealing with the challenges of today's society. So that just sums up our aim. So since we are students, we really wanted to focus on the value of learning and the value of education and try to find a way to make it accessible to everybody in our community. We decided to start a series of lectures again, and we focused on a section on women in STEM. Since we are a club run by all-female co-presidents, it was important to us to make our voices heard and demonstrate to our peers that gender in the scientific field or in any other career path should not be a significant factor in anyone's career choice. So especially because we live in the 21st century, gender discrimination because of a lack of education should not be acceptable. And so knowing what to expect through education could change images like these on the right to these. Okay, Iliana, over to you.
Our first lecture was titled Exploring Computer Science from the Words of a Female Tech CEO. We invited Dr. Maria Terzi and myself, as well as Eva, one of our members, had the honor of interviewing her, an ex-Google software engineer, as well as CEO and co-founder of Malloc, a Cypriot piracy startup, who eloquently spoke about the role his startup will play in monitoring and preventing spyware from recording or transmitting data without a device user knowing, in especially complex scenarios. Let me emphasize that what her company has devised, her startup has devised, is a unique product that was funded by Y Combinator, a company that previously funded Reddit and Airbnb. And it has revolutionized the App Store with more than 200,000 uploads in 3 months. Conversation flourished on the abundant applications of artificial intelligence or privacy software, while the role of women in technology was emphasized, with Dr. Terzi courageously sharing her own experience in the unfortunately male-dominated computer science field. Finally, remarks were made on solutions that can be found to combat the lack of female recognition in STEM, not only by turning to law and legislature, but to the influences education initially instills within youth. And we not only mentioned solutions of this, but we had the privilege of listening to stories that Dr. Terzi spoke to us about, notably one during her first ever computer science lecture at Cambridge, where a boy came up to her and told her to go and paint her nails and asked her why she was present within the lecture hall. Our second lecture was focused on the realms of space, from the words of Analogue Astronaut Eleni Charitonos. It was our utmost honor to welcome the first Cypriot Analogue Astronaut, Eleni Charitonos, to our school, who presented her inspiring journey to all Year 9 students, more than 100 people, including staff members who were excited to meet her, emphasizing the crucial role of women and girls in STEM. During her lecture, members had the unique opportunity of understanding the constituent processes within an analog mission, including details on living on a simulated Mars settlement, in the volcanic grounds of Hawaii, notably in the highest volcano, extravehicular activities with rovers, experiments conducted that tested plant-growing possibilities, as well as statistical modeling to monitor water supply. And one experiment that people seemed to enjoy was the use of male and female urine to grow plants on an analog mission, which will be used in the Mars settlements in the future, because this was actually a collaboration with NASA. She also commented on her pathway, possibly the most important part of this presentation, including the obstacles she faced to accelerating her astronautical career at the young age of 22. She is currently entering her 4th year of studies in maths at the University of Glasgow, and the whole of Cyprus is proud, especially the scientific community, of such a trailblazing achievement at such a young age. She had mentioned she had been working with 47-year-old doctors, lawyers, NASA engineers, and she was the youngest on the team. And that's truly inspiring for all. And following, we have included a gallery of pictures where you can see Emily, myself, and our club member Eva introducing Eleni Charitonos with a biography of her and the importance of women in STEM. We then have pictures of her presentation and a picture with her. You can see the engaged audience. There were actually much more people behind, but we had people at the front taking pictures within our club. And on the top left, you can even see pictures of the extravehicular activities that they did with real spacesuits that simulated movement on Mars, on the volcano. And you can also see logos in the central picture from the initiatives that Ms. Charitonos has developed herself.
So, okay. I'll take over this one. So we also started our social media. We have an Instagram page and a Facebook page set up, which has allowed us to share our lectures with students worldwide and also advertise our club to prospective other lecturers who might be interested in taking part in our series. Again, this is our layout. We have an inclusive and unique logo, which is actually both our school logo and the Global Destinations logo combined. And we have tried to create attractive and bold designs that represent the educational transformation that we try to instill. Iliana, over to you.
And so how do we record our work? Through the useful digital medium of our school website, which was kindly provided to us by Dr. Ashfield herself, we have found an efficient way of not only recording the material shared by lecturers during our series, and let me note that within this page you can find recordings of our lectures, of both our lectures, which will be soon shared within emails to public schools, primary schools all around Cyprus. But simultaneously within this webpage, we share reflective information, something which experienced educational professionals have advised us is crucial in reaping the rewards of an effective educational process. Emily, if you could follow the link, we could show Ms. Mose what the website looks like and how we can even spread it to the GD community. If you go to senior school and then student groups at the top,
yes,
you can very easily find the BWB club by clicking the button at the top right. And as you can see, we've included our aim. As you move below, you see an introduction of our lectures, and this is our first lecture with Dr. Terzi. A recording is available, so is an explanation on the top. And a lecture with Ms. Charitonos will also be included after we get permission from everyone to include photos, etc., because of privacy reasons. But as you can see, our efforts were multiple in using technology as a useful medium to ensure widespread education.
So I'll take over. So we have also set ourselves some goals for the next academic year and have developed a structure so that we are more organized as a club. We have decided to assign a social media manager since we are growing on Instagram and Facebook. We want a person in charge of contacting schools and getting permissions for upcoming possible lectures and events. We want someone in charge of contacting lecturers since we do plan on bringing many more people to speak, and somebody in charge of contacting schools since we do want to extend our reach to public schools and private schools, both. We also want to revise an effective rotation system for attending global chats because that has been one of our weaknesses this year. And we want to have adequate representation. We have created a shared Excel document that looks something like this, organized monthly, and this is how we will have an effective rotation so that everybody will have the chance of attending. Iliana, over to you.
And so what will we do differently? For us, this year has been a trial run in terms of determining how roles are assigned, equally distributing workload, plan further advertising our club, and encouraging more people to join us as our ideas are currently flourishing, including ideas focusing on gender equality and collaborate on organizing a lecture focused on fighting gender discrimination in workplaces and within the educational sector, which often stems from stereotypes of an insufficient education, especially in the fields of STEM, which, as we have mentioned, is probably the most male-dominated and has been diachronically. We are aiming, however, in going to both private and public elementary schools in our community and conducting one-period workshops, either online or in person, on topics ranging from literature to science to culture. This way, we will extend our impact onto the generations of the future, as you can see in the graphic in the bottom left. And to end, inspired by our ongoing lecture series, I have included a series of strong, infamous women who have been underrepresented, including Rosalind Franklin, who should have been given the Nobel Prize for this for figuring out the structure of DNA, but who was treated unfairly. And this is the reason you can see a multicultural society depicted only within this slide. And this is the reason why we want to promote Cypriot female scientists, and we hope for more in the future. Thank you for your time. And I think Emily would share the same gratitude herself.
Yes, of course.